This man, in an attempt to motivate his son to grow stronger, was once the world's strongest swordmaster. However, he deliberately severed his own left leg. He then sent his son to a country filled with monsters, but his son remained weak. He couldn't even defeat a 3-meter-tall mosquito, let alone a 2-ton flea. Now, he saw a 800-meter-tall, 10-ton beetle and was on the verge of crying. Yet, others around him weren't afraid. They were still drinking and celebrating, watching all of this unfold. This was because they had the world's strongest swordmaster, Mugaya. He believed that only monsters of such size could serve as worthy opponents for him. Mugaya charged at the beetle and threw a chain with a blade attached to it. With a slight tug, he managed to pull the 10-ton beetle to the ground. The beetle, enraged, attacked with its horns, destroying half the town. It then flapped its wings, creating a strong gust of wind. Even though Mugaya was incredibly powerful, he didn't retreat. However, as the world's strongest swordsman, Mugaya wouldn't simply back down. He gripped his sword tightly, and the blade's energy formed a barrier, effortlessly blocking the beetle's attacks. Mugaya then hurled his sword and followed it, leaping into the air and swinging his weapon. This was one of his signature moves. The next moment, Mugaya cleaved the beetle's 400-meter long horn in one swift strike. The beetle screamed in agony, but it was all in vain. Then, Mugaya did something that left everyone stunned. He inserted his sword into the severed horn of the beetle, and surrounding light began to shine. Mugaya cast a spell, channeling power into the blade, and attached the beetle's horn to it. This gave Mugaya an enormous sword, larger than the beetle itself. This was the terrifying strength of the world's strongest swordmaster, Mugaya. He could slay any monster. Unfortunately, Jinbei, who desperately wanted to become stronger, didn't see any of this. Instead, he was with a white-haired girl, watching fireworks. Mushy Bugyo, watching Jinbei's excited expression, was puzzled. Had Jinbei never seen fireworks before? Jinbei explained that he had spent his entire life, motivated by his father's encouragement, striving to become the world's strongest swordsman. He had never had time for leisure. After hearing this, Mushy Bugyo took off the bell from her hair and gave it to Jinbei as a token of thanks for bringing her to see the fireworks. Jinbei took it without a second thought, unaware that the seemingly harmless Mushy Bugyo actually had a terrifying background. Mushy Bugyo's eyebrows, hair, and even her eyelashes were all white since she was young. Her parents loved her deeply, but Mushy Bugyo released poisonous gas over a single insect, killing her entire family. She then raised many giant insects, causing a terrifying insect plague that ravaged the entire country. Strangely, no one blamed her. Instead, they treated her like a goddess, even establishing an insect worship agency to protect her. However, a group of people believed that the only way to end the insect plague was to kill Mushy Bugyo. They were part of the Insect Hunt organization, and today was the perfect opportunity to assassinate her. As every year, she secretly went into seclusion on Hakajajima Island, the time when she was at her weakest. Upon hearing the news, Jinbei and his companions quickly set sail to Hakajajima Island to protect Mushy Bugyo. But before they had gone far, a man blocked their way. The man, squatting on a small plank and facing a massive ship, seemed tiny. Yet, he showed no fear. He drew his double-headed scythe and, with a swift movement, he sliced through the massive ship, breaking it into 3 pieces.